everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Sarah Hall, the Wealthy Optimist. I'm super excited to be here in Bruges, and today I'm going to be taking you on the top 7 things that you absolutely cannot miss while you're on your trip here in Bruges, Belgium. So the very first thing that we're going to do on our trip, the number 1 thing that you absolutely cannot miss, is the market square, and number 2 is the Belfry Tower. So I'm inside the courtyard right now for the Belfry Tower, and if I turn and I look straight ahead of me, you can see the market square. So those are number 1 and 2. They're combined because you cannot do one without seeing the other. And one of the things that you absolutely cannot miss is climbing up to the top of the tower. Now it does pay an entrance fee, and you do have to climb up 366 steps to get to the top, but you have a panoramic view of the entire city, and it's absolutely beautiful. The Belfry Tower was built in 1240, and then a fire struck it and it was burned down in 1280, and it was actually rebuilt in that year as well. And most of the fire actually burnt down the majority of the building, and most of it was rebuilt, but they did also used to use this as their archives for the city, and all of the archives were obviously lost in that fire. So they're up at the very top, there's an octagon part, which I'm going to show you when we go outside. The octagon part was actually added on several years later, in around the 1600s, and that part afterwards there was also an extension put on top, which was like a spike, and that spike was hit about 100 years later by lightning, and it was burnt down and never replaced. So let's go outside so I can show you what the actual tower looks like. If you turn around, like I mentioned, right in front of me is the market square. This town really reminds me of kind of fairy tale picturesque town center. So if you can imagine what it would be like living here 800 years ago when this tower was first built, with horses everywhere and everyone dressed up to the nines going out on the town, and you know, peasants and all those kinds of things, and royal families. I love this kind of architecture and this kind of feeling and vibe that's in the city. And there's so much to do around the market square too. There's tons of restaurants, tons of shopping, tons of cafes. Whatever your fancy is while you're here, you can definitely do some of that. There are also a few museums to check out here in the market square as well, so you can go and browse through them, and I wouldn't miss seeing some of those architectures as well. You can also get deals on the museum, so if that's something you're interested in, you can get like 3 for the price of 1 kind of passes and stuff like that, so just go and check out their website. So the number 3 thing on our list of the top 7 things that you can't miss while you're here in Bruges is to check out Bruge Square. And if you're lucky, like we are today, they actually have a lot of events and stuff happening in the main center. So right now they've got a music festival, which is really cool. So if you're traveling in the summertime, things like that pop up all the time, all over Belgium. Actually, in Brussels, I'll link the video below, but when I was filming in Brussels, they had a music festival there too, which was just a few days ago. So I'll take you into the square. It's really pretty, really cute, and it's just this way. Now the 4th thing that you absolutely cannot miss while you're here in the beautiful medieval city of Bruges is the Unveiled Catholic Church, which is just behind me. It looks like a little fortress, and there's a beautiful courtyard surrounded by nature. You can hear the birds chirping. The canal is right there. There's a cute little bridge. It's just absolutely harmonious and peaceful over here. You'll absolutely love coming and sitting here. I plan on returning and coming back tomorrow and sitting on the grass and reading a book and just having a picnic with like a me date. So this is a beautiful spot you absolutely do not want to miss while you're touring around Bruges, and let me show you what the church behind me looks like. Are you ready? I don't know. And this is the courtyard. So beautiful. And a little bridge. There's a lot of people trying to get pictures. But there's little houses, so cute. It's just beautiful here. If I never return to Canada again, it may be because I've moved here. It's that beautiful. You cannot miss coming to Bruges. So the fifth thing that you absolutely have to do when you come to Bruges is come to the Lake of Love. And you have to go on a canal ride. It's really cheap, it's only €8 a person. And it's so worth it. It's such a beautiful ride. Okay, and number 6 on the things that you absolutely cannot miss while you're here in Bruges is going to the Church of the Precious Blood, which is where there is a special artifact, a vial that contains Jesus Christ's blood in it. It is absolutely so spiritual. So number 7, our final thing that you cannot miss while you're here in Bruges is to go to a beer museum. So there's one right behind me. There's a couple here in the market square that you can actually go to, and it's really cool to check out like the history of Belgian beer and just how they do everything from start to finish. So it's a really interesting thing to check out. Another thing as a bonus that you should do is go on a beer tasting tour. So you can actually go and try a whole bunch of really awesome beers, and they offer them at a lot of hotels, a lot of different walking tours, and it's really cheap too. It's like €12, and you can go and walk around and try a whole bunch of different beers. So that concludes the top 7 things that you absolutely cannot miss while you're here in Bruges. Make sure that you do spend a couple of days here. A lot of people just do a one-day trip from Ghent or even from Brussels, but it's definitely worth spending a few days here. There's lots to see, lots to explore, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. There's going to be many more videos coming up on my 2 years traveling around the world, so you can check out my videos by subscribing to my channel and clicking the little bell notifications button so that you're notified when new videos come up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.